Hello friends, welcome to Study Static GK channel. Here today I am giving you likes target 100. If you like my content, please subscribe, share, comment, like and do subscribe. Today we are going to discuss about the questions of RRB NTPC 7th phase. The date is 26th July, first shift. Today we are going to discuss some of the general awareness questions which are being asked in 26 July first shift. First question, when did India launch Mangalyaan? Options are 24 September 2014, 5th November 2013, 22nd July 2009, 8th October 2009. Here the Mangalyaan was launched on 5th November 2013. And it was entered in the orbit. Mangalyaan was entered in the orbit around the Mars on 24th September 2014. And this Mangalyaan went into the space with the rocket name is PSLV C-25, right? And this was the India's first interplanetary mission, and as I said earlier, entered in orbit on 24 September 2014. And this Mangalyaan is also featured on 2000 rupees note, this RBI currency note in the new Mahatma Gandhi series. This Mangalyaan was, here it is, this Mangalyaan. This was featured on this 2000 rupees note. And by the way, this 2000 rupees note color is magenta. Next question. The pass or gap located at the southern end of the Nilgiri Hills in South India that separates the Nilgiri Hill from Annamalai Hills. Here they are asking about a pass or gap. What was that? That is Palghat Gap. Palakkad, this sometimes called as Palakkad also. This is Palghat Gap. Article dash of the Indian Constitution provides the procedure of amendment. This is like amendment to the Constitution. Which was the article that describes the Constitution amendment? This is, what was that? Article 368. Article 368 is under Part 20. Part 20 of the Constitution. Part 20 of the Constitution. UAN stands for, this is the unique number for the accounts which are maintained with the Employee Provident Fund Organization, that is EPFO. Okay, this is when an employee works in an organization and that in the salary 12% of the basic of his salary, his or her salary, goes into the EPF account. And at the same way, employer also deposits 12% of the basic salary of an employee. So overall 24% of basic will be deposited in a month of an employee. And this UAN actually stands for what? Universal account number. Universal account number. This is the unique number which can be useful when an employee switches jobs. So portability of the EPFO account comes with the UAN, with the usage of UAN number. So easily switch the PF accounts with across the organizations. 4 byte is equal to dash bit. 4 byte is equal to dash bit. Actually 1 bit 8 bits is equal to 1 byte, right? So here he is asking 4 byte is equal to how many bit? Sorry, the question may be wrong. uh, so 8 bit. So here if we okay, if we go with the question itself, 4 byte is equal to, so 4 byte is equal to 32 bits. So answer may be 32. Actually maybe the 4 byte is called as nibble. This may be the question, and some students has given this as the question, which nibble, and some students has given the question as 4 byte is equal to dash bit. So whatever it is, so actually you have to remember, right? 1 byte is equal to 4 bits, and half byte is equal to, sorry, 1 byte is equal to 8 bits, and half byte is equal to 4 bits. These 4 bits is called as nibble. This is the one which you have to remember. Dash are known as scavengers of the cells. They are also called as suicidal bags. What are those? These are lysosomes. Lysosomes are called as scavengers of the cells, or scavengers of the cells, or suicidal bags, because if some foreign thing absorbed by these lysosomes, so that will absorb it into its thing, and then it will self destruct itself to save us. So this is why these are all that is why these are called as suicidal bags. Next question: East Central Railway headquarter. East Central Railway headquarter is at Hajipur. East Central Railway headquarter is at Hajipur. And by the way, Jabalpur is the headquarter of West Central Railway. West Central Railway. What is that? Jabalpur. And Gorakhpur is the headquarter of North Eastern Railway. What was that? Gorakhpur. And next, Bilaspur. Bilaspur is the headquarter of Southeast Central Railway. South East Central. Which one? Bilaspur. So please remember all these things. This may be asked in coming exams, because this Jabalpur was asked in the previous shift. Dash is an Indian fencer. He is the first Indian fencer to ever qualify for the Olympics after qualifying for the 2021 Tokyo Games. The fencer is like what we call it as sword. It is like combat sport, which is played with the swords. So this is the first time one woman enter into the Olympics. What was her name? Her name is Bhavani Devi. As I said, fencing is a combat sports which usually played with sword-like weapon with different rules. Next question. Dash of the Constitution of India states that no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to procedures established by law. This is Article 21. Article 21 says that no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty. And Article 19, one of the options, it was the given Article 19. This Article 19 says everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression. So freedom of speech. This right of right to the freedom of speech is related to the Article 19. Next question. Recently, 6 Indian places have been added to the tentative list of UNESCO's World Heritage Sites. Right? UNESCO is what is UNESCO? United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. Its headquarters is at Paris. And recently, six added to the tentative list. Which one is not among those in tentative list? Satpura Tiger Reserve, Madhya Pradesh. Gods of Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh. Temples of Kanchipuram, Tamil Nadu. Western Ghats. So actually these three were there in the tentative list, and Western Ghats already it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So this is the answer. But what they have asked, which one is not among those? So Western Ghats is not among those. Here another three. Actually six were there, na? First three have I said earlier, and the remaining three were megalithic site of Higher Bengal. This is in Karnataka, and Maratha military architecture in Maharashtra, and third one is Baidghat Lamtha Ghat in Narmada Valley, Jabalpur. This is also in Madhya Pradesh. So these are the six which were in tentative list. And recently, Telangana's Ramappa Temple bags UNESCO World Heritage Tag. So Ramappa Temple, this is also called as Rudreshwara Temple. Rudreshwara Temple, which was built by Recherla Rudra. Recherla Rudra. You can see a pic of Ramappa Temple, which was recently attained the UNESCO World Heritage Site status. Where was the session of Congress held in 1920? So, in the 1920 Indian National Congress sessions. So, basically, in the phases, earlier phases, sixth phase, fifth phase, fourth phase, in that also there were some questions, bunch of questions on the Indian National Congress sessions. So, be aware and prepare lots of information about the Indian National Congress sessions from the beginning, right? And for this the answer is Nagpur. And the president, this session was presided by Vijay Raghava Chari. And Congress held a special session in Kolkata in September 1920 under the presidentship of Lala Lajpat Rai. So there was another session also there in 1920, but that was not the main session. That was the special session. And for that, the president was Lala Lajpat Rai. This special session was actually presided by Lala Lajpat Rai. It meant to pass the resolution of the non-cooperation movement. So non-cooperation movement, which was started in 1920, right? And civil disobedient rule, which was started in 1930, and Quit India movement, which was started in 1942. This date also you remember, August 8, Quit India movement, August 8. This is August Kranti movement also. This is called as August Kranti movement, which was Quit India movement, right? This was happened in 1942, and 1930 civil disobedient movement, and 1920 what was that, non-cooperation movement. And in the 1924 there was another session of Indian National Congress, and the only Congress session presided over by Mahatma Gandhi. So in the entire Congress sessions, only one session which was presided by Mahatma Gandhi, that is Belgaum session. This Belgaum is now called as Belgavi, but that was happened in 1924. Please remember. Next one. I mean, these are the some salient points which are related to the Indian National Congress sessions. So I am giving extra information So this may be useful in further exams. And the next one, and these are also asked, these were also asked in the previous shifts also. The split between the moderates and the extremists, this was also asked in the, this question also asked, Surat split, in the name of Surat split. That session is also called as Surat split. The split between the moderates and the extremists happened in the Surat session, that is in 1907. So sometimes they may ask question as 19 in which year the Surat split happened, 1907, 1907, or they ask location also. Sometimes the split between moderates and extremists happened in 1907, and which session, I mean which location session that was happened in which place. So then it is Surat. Next point. The Indian National Congress on 19th December 1929 passed the historic Purna Swaraj Total Independence Resolution at its Lahore session. So here you can have three points. One is 19 Purna Swaraj Declaration happened in 1929 session, and the session was happened at Lahore location. So this session is called as this session is basically for the resolution of Purna Swaraj. And a public declaration was made on 26 January 1930, day which the Congress party urged Indians to celebrate as Independence Day. This day is being celebrated as Purna Swaraj Day also. So the declaration was passed in the Lahore session itself in 1929, but the public declaration was made on 26th January 1930. So this 26th January is being celebrated as Purna Swaraj Day also. And actually, of course, this is our Republic Day, right? It is the day from which our constitution is implemented. Right, next point. Umesh Chandra Banerjee was the first president of INC. Right, the first INC session was happened in 1896 in Kolkata. So for this, who was the president? Umesh Chandra Banerjee. And next question. Next point. First woman president of the INC is Annie Besant. Annie Besant. She was the first woman president of the sessions. But first Indian woman president is Sarojini Naidu. By nationality, Indian woman president was Sarojini Naidu. Which of the following is endocrine gland? Lymph nodes, sweat glands, salivary glands, pituitary gland. The answer is pituitary gland. Actually, there were two types of glands. One is endocrine gland and one is exocrine gland. What is the difference between these two glands? We'll come to know. Here, if you see, endocrine glands are ductless glands of the endocrine system that secrete their products, hormones directly into the blood. This is the difference. May the difference? Those hormones which were directly secreted into the blood. The major glands of the endocrine system include the pineal gland. Remember these things: pineal gland, pituitary gland, pancreas, ovaries, testes, thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, hypothalamus, and adrenal glands. These are all the glands which secrete hormones directly into the blood. And there is another type of gland called exocrine gland. Example: sweat glands, lymph nodes, salivary glands, lacrimal glands, and mammary glands. The liver and pancreas are both exocrine and endocrine glands. Okay, the liver and pancreas. These behaves like both exocrine and endocrine because they are exocrine glands because they secrete products, bile and pancreatic juice into the gastrointestinal tract through a series of ducts. And endocrine, I mean, this is the one which is the reason for exocrine behavior. And for endocrine behavior, what is the reason? This is endocrine because they secrete other substances directly into the bloodstream. So these are the two things, two behaviors which are being shown by liver and pancreas. So these are termed as both exocrine and endocrine glands. The Bengal Sati regulation which banned the sati practice in India was passed on December 4th, 1829 by the Governor General, by the then Governor General. Who was the Governor General? Banned the sati. You know sati? Sati is a historical Hindu practice in which a widow sacrificed herself by sitting atop her deceased husband's funeral body, whatever it is. So this was the bad practice which was used to be there in the earlier India. So that was abolished by the Lord William Bentinck. He was the Governor General at that time when the sati was banned. PM Street Vendors Atmanirbhar Nidhi, Swanidhi. This is termed as Swanidhi. This was the scheme recently launched by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs on June 1st, 2020 for providing affordable working capital loan to the street vendors. So how much actually basically the question is how much amount? 10,000, 20,000, yeah, 25,000, 50,000. The answer is 10,000. And this is the like a loan. This has to be completed within a year. This has to be repaid within a year. And uh, if a street vendor got a loan of some 10,000, and the interest, whatever the interest charged by the nationalized banks or whatever banks, up to 7% of the interest is given as subsidy to the street vendor directly in his bank account. This is the scheme. Dash has retained the top rank in Niti Aayog's SDG India Index 2020-21, while Bihar is the worst performing state. So, Niti Aayog released the Sustainable Development Goals India Index 2020-21. What are these Sustainable Development Goals? These were basically formulated by United Nations for the well-being of the world, well-being of our globe. So these are the some things which are to be done by all the nations by 2030 around. So these are to be achieved. So basically for growth and development. So in that among and with internally our India has given some ranks based on the performance of the states. So which state has topped the rank in 2020-21? This is the question. So the answer is Kerala. Kerala has topped the SDG index. The ranks released by Niti Aayog 2020-21. Here if you see the Sustainable Development Goals are the global goals that are a collection of 17 interlinked global goals designed to be a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. The SDGs were set up in 2015 by the United Nations General Assembly and are intended to be achieved by the year 2030. Next question. The central government had introduced the national pension system with effect from January 1st, 2004, except for armed forces. And these armed forces will be getting like a normal pension. But from the January 1st, 2014, who are the employees, central government, public services, normal civilian employees, who are appointed on or after January 1st, 2004, will come under this scheme, which is the scheme National Pension System (NPS). So, Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority, the regulatory PFODA, the regulatory body for NPS has appointed Dash as Central Record Keeping Agency (CRA), Central Record Keeping Agency for National Pension System. Basically, the NPS. The question is NPS is being dealt by which one? The answer is NSDL, National Security Depository Limited. This is the one which is maintaining the NPS system. Dolu Kunta is a traditional dance from. So folk dances. So you may expect questions from dances and paintings, at least one question. So please be aware and be prepared. And this is from Karnataka. And here there are some questions, some like some dances which are from all over the states. I mean, some I have listed some of the important dances. Please make a note. Yakshagan is from Karnataka, and Kuchipudi is from Andhra Pradesh. Bihu is from Assam. Garpa and Dandiya Ras, these are from Gujarat. Kathakali, Mohiniyattam, these are from Kerala. Lavani dance is from Maharashtra. Odissi and Ghumara, these are from Odisha. Bhangra and Gidda, these are from Punjab. Khumar dance is from Rajasthan. Bharatanatyam is from Tamil Nadu. Nautanki, Ras Leela, these are from Uttar Pradesh. Garwali, Kumayuni, Ras Leela, these belong to Uttarakhand. So these are the basic things. I mean, I have listed only some of the folk dances. Though I have written some of these, but there are many dances. You please remember. Try to be remember. Answer for the last video question. Last, I have asked the question according to 2011 census, gender ratio of India is. This is 940. I mean, there are 940 females for 1000 males. Question for this video, comment your answer. Brass is an alloy of. So alloy, you know alloy? Alloy is a mixture of some of the metals. So that is called as alloy. So here, what is the answer? Brass is an alloy of what? Copper, zinc, nickel, or copper tin, or copper, zinc, or it is copper, nickel. Please comment your answer. Comment your answer in the comment box. I hope you like this video. Please, if you like the video, please subscribe, comment, share, and like.